Hello Zenith women and welcome to the channel. Not everything sweet is easy to reach and not everything tough is worth the fight, but the best things often come wrapped in both. Watermelons are a curious paradox of nature, with their rock-hard exteriors concealing the refreshing sweetness inside. They're a perfect metaphor for life's most extraordinary personalities, especially Sigma females. Did you know that in ancient Egypt, watermelons were buried in tombs as treasures for the afterlife? That's right. A fruit so seemingly simple was revered as priceless. But much like the watermelon, Sigma females are often underestimated, misjudged, and only truly valued by those willing to peel back the layers. Here's where it gets even better, or funnier depending on how you see it. Crack open a watermelon the wrong way, and it's a mess. Crack open a Sigma female's guarded exterior, and you might just meet the most intoxicating, unpredictable, and life-changing force you've ever known. Curious? You should be. Because once you understand the watermelon effect, every Sigma female should know you'll never look at yourself or anyone else the same way again. Number 1. The duality of perception. Sweet on the inside, tough on the outside. The watermelon effect reveals a profound truth about Sigma females. They often appear tough, enigmatic, and unapproachable. But beneath that exterior lies a depth of emotion and complexity most people can't fathom. This duality is both a strength and a challenge. On one hand, it serves as a protective shield, keeping superficiality and unwanted attention at bay. On the other, it creates a gap between how others perceive them and who they truly are. People mistake their calm, composed demeanor for indifference or arrogance, never realizing the quiet storms of thought and feeling brewing underneath. This contrast isn't accidental. Over time, Sigma females learn to cultivate this tough rind to guard against the noise and chaos of a world that often demands too much but offers little in return. Yet the sweetness inside, their empathy, insight, and rare ability to connect on a profound level remains hidden, accessible only to those patient and curious enough to break through. But this dynamic isn't always easy to navigate. The same exterior that keeps them safe can also isolate them, leaving others to assume they don't need care, connection, or support. This misunderstanding can lead to loneliness, as people rarely make the effort to peel back their layers. At the same time, the Sigma female knows her value and refuses to let just anyone in. The result is a delicate dance between preserving her core and revealing it selectively. For the Sigma female, the key lies in mastering this balance. She must remain true to her layered nature while finding moments to allow the right people to taste the sweetness within. It's not about being one or the other, tough or soft, but embracing both as essential parts of who she is. Number 2. Strategic self-protection, the thick skin metaphor. Sigma females are masters of strategic self-protection. Much like the thick rind of a watermelon shields its delicate interior, their ability to appear composed and impenetrable serves as their first line of defense in a world that often demands too much and gives too little. This thick skin isn't just a survival mechanism, it's a choice, a carefully cultivated barrier that keeps emotional freeloaders and unnecessary drama at bay. It allows them to observe, analyze, and decide who deserves access to their inner world. However, this strategy comes with a hidden cost. Over-relying on the protective layer can sometimes create an unintended sense of isolation. The same barrier that keeps negativity out can also keep meaningful connections at arm's length. People may perceive Sigma females as distant or unapproachable, mistaking their guarded nature for disinterest or superiority. In reality, the Sigma female's inner self is rich, vibrant, and full of depth, but it's hidden beneath layers of caution forged through experience. This thick skin also poses a challenge. It requires constant vigilance. To guard oneself from emotional harm, a Sigma female might unintentionally push away even those who genuinely care. The armor becomes so second nature that lowering it feels risky, even when it's safe to do so. Over time, this can lead to a feeling of loneliness, as few people truly see the vulnerable and authentic parts of her. The art of strategic self-protection isn't about letting everyone in. It's about recognizing when and where to allow cracks in the armor. A watermelon rind doesn't need to be removed for every passerby, but for those who've earned it, the reveal is worth the effort. For the Sigma female, learning when to soften her defenses is not a weakness but a sign of wisdom and emotional maturity. Number 3. Scarred rinds, sweethearts, the hidden strength in imperfections. A watermelon with scars on its rind tells a story of growth, resilience, and surviving harsh conditions. Surprisingly, those marked exteriors often indicate the sweetest fruit within. Sigma females are much the same. Their scars, emotional, mental, or even physical, aren't signs of weakness but evidence of strength and transformation. These imperfections are the byproducts of challenges faced, lessons learned, and battles fought quietly, often without recognition or applause. Each scar holds a story, and for Sigma females, those stories become the foundation of their remarkable insight and empathy. They see beyond the surface because they've been there themselves, misunderstood, judged, or overlooked. These experiences don't break them. Instead, they sharpen their intuition and make them more authentic. They understand life's complexities in a way few others can, which makes them fascinating and magnetic to those who take the time to truly know them. But society often tells us to hide our scars, to cover up what's seen as flawed or imperfect. For a Sigma female, this pressure can feel suffocating. Yet, her imperfections are not liabilities. They are her defining strengths. Every mark is a reminder of her journey, her resilience, and her ability to thrive despite adversity. Embracing these scars doesn't just liberate her. It inspires others who are struggling to see beauty in their own imperfections. Hiding scars might make a watermelon look more polished, but it robs it of its authenticity, and the same applies to Sigma females. By owning their scars, they project a quiet confidence that says, "This is who I am, and I am enough." It's this authenticity, born from struggle and growth, that makes them not just strong, but deeply intriguing and irreplaceable. Their sweetness lies in their scars, and their strength lies in owning them unapologetically. Number 4. The silent assurance of rootedness, staying grounded while being magnetic. The watermelon's connection to its vine is its lifeline, a quiet, unshakable anchor that allows it to grow, flourish, and eventually thrive. For Sigma females, this rootedness mirrors their unwavering connection to their principles, values, and sense of self. While the world clamors for attention and validation, the Sigma female draws her strength from staying grounded, a quality that makes her uniquely magnetic. She doesn't need to chase recognition. Her quiet confidence and authenticity naturally pull people toward her. This rootedness gives her a distinct kind of power. While others may drift with trends or seek approval, the Sigma female remains firmly planted, guided by her own internal compass. Her decisions are not dictated by external pressures, but by what feels true to her. This steadfastness not only ensures her growth, but also creates a sense of stability that others find irresistible. People are drawn to her not because she demands their attention, but because her presence is a refreshing contrast to the chaos around her. However, being rooted doesn't mean being static. Just as the watermelon vine stretches outward, allowing the fruit to expand, the Sigma female's grounded nature enables her to explore, grow, and adapt without losing herself. This balance is her secret weapon. She can evolve without compromising her essence, remaining mysterious yet approachable, confident yet humble. The challenge, however, lies in protecting her roots. The pressures of modern life can sometimes tempt her to uproot herself for the sake of convenience or fleeting approval. But a Sigma female thrives best when she stays connected to what truly matters to her, her principles, her passions, and her purpose. By doing so, she becomes an enduring source of inspiration, quietly magnetic yet deeply grounded, a force of nature that leaves a lasting impact. Number 5. Seedless verses. Authentic. The danger of diluting for acceptance. Seedless watermelons might seem ideal, no mess, no hassle, but something essential is missing. Their seeds are what make them natural, capable of growth, and true to their essence. Similarly, Sigma females often face immense pressure to dilute their complexities, quirks, and individuality in order to fit into societal molds. They're encouraged to suppress their uniqueness for the sake of being more palatable, more convenient for those who can't handle their depth. But in doing so, they risk losing the very qualities that make them extraordinary. In a world obsessed with ease and uniformity, authenticity can feel like a rebellion. Sigma females are often told to tone down their independence, hide their unconventional thinking, or conform to expectations that don't align with who they are. The result? A sanitized version of themselves that may be more acceptable but is far less fulfilling. They become like seedless watermelons, easier to consume but stripped of their ability to grow, evolve, and plant meaningful ideas or relationships. The danger in this dilution is not just external. When a Sigma female suppresses her true self, she begins to feel a disconnect within. Over time, this can lead to frustration, resentment, or even a sense of emptiness. The very things that make her stand out, her curiosity, resilience, and enigmatic charm, become buried under layers of artificiality. But the beauty of a Sigma female lies in her refusal to conform completely. Her seeds, the raw, unfiltered parts of her personality, are what allow her to leave a lasting impact. They may not be for everyone, but they're for someone. And those who appreciate the authenticity of a seeded watermelon are the same ones who will value the true depth of a Sigma female. It's not about being easier to consume. It's about being impossible to forget. Number 6, the temptation to be consumed but not valued. Watermelons are often devoured for their sweetness, their refreshing taste savored in the moment, yet rarely do people pause to appreciate the fruit itself, the effort it took to grow, the roots that nourished it, or the scars that marked its journey. Sigma females find themselves in a similar position. Their insight, comfort, and quiet strength make them irresistible, but all too often people take without giving back. They are consumed for what they offer, but not truly valued for who they are. This dynamic can be exhausting. Sigma females are natural problem solvers and deep thinkers, offering wisdom and emotional refuge to those around them. Their mysterious allure draws people in, but instead of forging meaningful connections, many individuals only seek what they can gain. They turn to the Sigma female in moments of crisis, for inspiration, or to bask in her quiet energy, only to disappear when their needs are met. The temptation to let this pattern continue is real. Being a source of value can feel empowering, even addictive, but over time this one-sided dynamic takes a toll. The Sigma female, who rarely seeks validation, might find herself feeling used or underappreciated. It's not that she craves constant recognition, it's the lack of reciprocity, the absence of mutual respect that leaves her drained. The challenge for the Sigma female lies in setting boundaries. She must learn to discern who values her for her essence, not just her sweetness. Her worth isn't tied to how much she can give, but to the unique individual she is. Like a watermelon that deserves admiration for its growth and resilience, not just its flavor, the Sigma female thrives when surrounded by people who cherish her depth as much as her gifts. True appreciation is not about consumption, it's about connection. Number 7, selective sharing, only ripe for those who deserve it. Not everyone appreciates a perfectly ripe watermelon. Some dismiss it without a second thought, while others savor it like a rare treat. The same applies to Sigma females. Their depth, insight, and authenticity are not meant for everyone, nor should they be. One of their greatest strengths lies in the art of selective sharing, knowing when, where, and with whom to reveal their inner world. Sigma females are naturally self-sufficient and thrive in their own company. This independence allows them to be highly selective about the people they let in. However, the temptation to share their energy freely can be strong, especially when others gravitate toward their mysterious charm. But giving too much to the wrong people, those who take without appreciating, judge without understanding, or simply don't value them, can leave them feeling drained and disillusioned. This is where discernment becomes critical. A Sigma female must assess who truly deserves her time and authenticity. Is the other person offering mutual respect? Do they add value to her life, or are they simply there for convenience? Just as a farmer carefully chooses which fruits to harvest and which to leave, Sigma females must learn to reserve their energy for those who genuinely value it. This doesn't mean closing off completely, it means sharing wisely. Selective sharing is an act of self-respect, not selfishness. By investing in relationships that are reciprocal and meaningful, the Sigma female ensures her sweetness isn't wasted on those who won't appreciate it. After all, a watermelon's value isn't diminished by those who overlook it. It remains just as rich, just as refreshing, for those who truly understand its worth. For a Sigma female, the power lies in choosing to be fully ripe only for those who deserve it. Number 8. The misunderstood layers, the risk of being judged too quickly. A watermelon's rind is its first impression, tough, plain, and unassuming. People who judge it too quickly might overlook the sweetness inside, dismissing its value without a second thought. Sigma females face this same challenge. Their reserved, enigmatic nature often leads to hasty assumptions, aloof, cold, or even arrogant. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Their layers are not barriers, they are intricacies, designed to protect a complexity that only the patient and perceptive are allowed to uncover. This misjudgment highlights a deeper issue in society, the tendency to demand instant accessibility. In a world where superficial charm and extroverted energy are celebrated, the quiet depth of a Sigma female is often misunderstood. Her choice to observe rather than perform, to think before she speaks, is misinterpreted as a lack of warmth or interest. Yet this couldn't be further from the truth. Beneath her composed exterior lies a rich inner world, insightful, empathetic, and deeply authentic. The irony is that those who judge too quickly often miss out on the most meaningful connections. Sigma females thrive in complexity, and their true essence can only be appreciated by those willing to look beyond the surface. However, this also means they carry the burden of being overlooked or underestimated, especially in environments that prioritize appearances over substance. For the Sigma female, the challenge isn't to change, but to embrace her misunderstood nature. She doesn't need to soften her layers for those unwilling to take the time. Instead, she should focus on those who see past the rind and value the depth within. After all, the sweetest connections in life come not from rushing to conclusions, but from savoring what's hidden beneath. Her layers are her strength, and those who truly matter will understand that. Number 9. The quiet ripple of influence, watermelon and its invisible benefits. A watermelon doesn't shout its value, it doesn't need to. It quietly hydrates, nourishes, and energizes, providing subtle but vital benefits to those who enjoy it. Sigma females are much the same. Their influence doesn't come from grand gestures or loud declarations. It's woven into the small, seemingly invisible ways they impact others. This quiet ripple of influence is their true superpower, one that's often underestimated, but deeply transformative. Sigma females thrive on authenticity and substance, which means their actions are deliberate and meaningful. Whether it's offering insight during a tough situation, providing emotional stability in chaos, or inspiring others with their independence, their contributions are rarely flashy. Instead, they blend seamlessly into the background, leaving an impact that lingers long after they're gone. This understated power makes them invaluable in a world that often equates noise with importance. What makes this ripple effect even more remarkable is that Sigma females aren't driven by the need for recognition. They don't seek applause or accolades. Their focus is on genuine connections and meaningful outcomes. This selflessness only amplifies their magnetic quality, drawing people to them without the need for overt effort. Those who are fortunate enough to experience their influence often find themselves changed in profound ways, more grounded, more inspired, or simply more aware of life's deeper layers. However, the quiet nature of their impact can sometimes mean it goes unnoticed, or worse, taken for granted. But the Sigma female doesn't let this deter her. She knows her worth isn't tied to how loudly her contributions are acknowledged. Like a watermelon's quiet nourishment, her value lies in the depth of what she offers, not the visibility of her efforts. True power doesn't need to shout. It's felt deeply and undeniably by those who pay attention. Number 10. Emotional satiety versus emotional hunger. Overindulging in watermelon can leave you bloated but oddly unsatisfied, a frustrating contradiction that mirrors how some people exploit the emotional depth of Sigma females. These individuals endlessly draw from the Sigma female's well of insight, empathy, and support, yet their emotional hunger remains insatiable. No matter how much the Sigma gives, it's never enough to fill the void in others who refuse to address their own inner needs. This dynamic often arises because the Sigma female is a natural confidant and problem solver. Her emotional intelligence and ability to listen without judgment make her a safe haven for those seeking comfort or clarity. However, this same strength can attract people who mistake her depth for an endless resource. They take and take, offering little in return, and the Sigma, with her quiet resilience, often gives without complaint, until the weight of imbalance becomes too much to bear. The real issue lies not with the Sigma's generosity, but with the emotional hunger of those who exploit it. These individuals seek external validation or healing, looking to others to fill gaps that can only be addressed internally. For the Sigma, this creates a dangerous cycle. The more she gives, the less it's appreciated, and the less it satisfies the recipient. In the end, she's left drained while they remain unfulfilled. Breaking this cycle requires the Sigma female to recognize her limits and enforce boundaries. Emotional satiety isn't achieved by endlessly giving, but by nurturing relationships that are reciprocal and balanced. Just as enjoying watermelon in moderation brings refreshment and satisfaction, the Sigma's emotional gifts should be shared thoughtfully. By prioritizing her own well-being and refusing to feed insatiable demands, she ensures her depth is reserved for those who truly value it. The watermelon effect is more than just a metaphor. It's a powerful reminder of the multifaceted strength and complexity of Sigma females. Like the fruit itself, they possess a tough exterior that shields their inner world, a space of richness, depth, and authenticity. Every aspect of their existence, from their ability to grow from the inside out to their discernment in sharing their sweetness, reflects a delicate balance of resilience and vulnerability, mystery and magnetism. But what truly sets Sigma females apart is their refusal to conform to superficial expectations. They are unapologetically layered, embracing their scars as symbols of growth and choosing to remain grounded in their principles while navigating a world that often misunderstands their essence. They may be judged too quickly, consumed without appreciation, or pressured to dilute their uniqueness. But their strength lies in knowing their worth and maintaining their authenticity. The Sigma female's quiet influence is her greatest superpower. She doesn't need to shout to make an impact or seek validation to feel complete. Instead, she moves with purpose, creating ripples of inspiration and change wherever she goes. Like a watermelon, she nourishes, energizes, and enriches, but only for those who take the time to savor her depth. Ultimately, the watermelon effect teaches Sigma females an invaluable truth. Their worth is not determined by how easily they're understood or how widely they're accepted. Their value lies in their ability to stay true to themselves, to nurture their inner world, and to offer their authenticity only to those who truly deserve it. And in doing so, they become a rare and refreshing force, impossible to ignore and even harder to replace. If you've made it this far, it's clear you're someone who values depth, growth, and a little mystery, just like a Sigma female. So why stop here? Subscribe to our channel and join a community that celebrates authenticity, independence, and the unapologetic pursuit of being your best self. By subscribing, you're not just clicking a button. You're stepping into a world of thought-provoking insights, empowering discussions, and ideas designed to inspire your journey as a Sigma female or someone who admires them. Let's continue exploring topics that challenge the ordinary, celebrate the extraordinary, and remind you of your limitless potential. Don't miss out on what's to come. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because just like the sweetest watermelons, the best content is worth savoring, and we're only getting started.